You're welcome. Well, here in Accra, the presidential aspirants who have been disqualified continue to push their case for reinstatement. A 5-minute interaction between PPP leader Dr. Kwesi Nduom and EC chairperson Charlotte Osei yesterday does not seem to have yielded results. Today, Dr. Nduom, speaking on the Joy FM Super Morning Show, argued that the EC has been selective in the implementation of its own laws, as some parties, he claims, did not fully comply with certain requirements, yet were not disqualified.
If you go through, every one of us had to sign on page 113
That's right.
of the nomination form. All of us stipulated, and number 10 of that says, I have declared my assets in accordance with the provisions of the Public and Political Parties Office Holders Act and so on and so forth. And it goes through all of those things.
And this is a part of
the nomination form which I, Papa Kwesi Nduom, signed, which Nana Akufo-Addo signed, which John Dramani Mahama signed. So
this is a section that they didn't provide.
They did not provide. And indeed the NPP told the commission it wouldn't. Okay? Now, I can't say whether John Dramani Mahama did it or not. My question is, did they do it or not? Did any of those candidates that have been accepted, did they provide theirs or not? I know I did. I'm also saying some candidates did not meet the requirements by that deadline that they gave on Monday. They, I know one of them had been accepted. I know one of them has been given additional time. I know they themselves have said they gave opportunity to some other people to make corrections. Okay? I've also said Amadou Sule came up with this notice to all of us that everybody should file their statement of expenditure and so on and so forth. Gave us till May to do it. NDC didn't, MPP didn't. They gave them special dispensation. They should have been disqualified. They weren't. There are political parties that have not met sections of the Political Parties Act, and all of a sudden election time comes, they show up, they are allowed to pick up nomination forms, they are political parties. My friend, all I'm trying to say is that an institution that wants to be strong must be guided by its own laws. It must apply its own laws evenly, strongly, evenly, the laws.
Yeah.
But we can't have individuals rise and say, I'm a strong man, I'm a strong woman, I'm a strong leader. That is a human matter. We don't want that. We want the law to prevail. And so I have said to everybody, I have absolutely nothing against Mrs. Charlotte Osei or Amadou Sule or any one of them. There are rules, there are laws.
We apologize for that hitch, but we still stay with issues relating to the disqualifications of aspirants. And today, two others, the IPP's Kofi Apollo and the GCPP's Dr. Henry Latif, have gone on a media offensive. Now, they are accusing the Electoral Commission of embarrassing them and are threatening to head to court. Let's hear Dr. Henry Latif.
At one point, I thought the NPP was given so much problems. I now understand why Peter McMahon and Tom Boydo were given so much problems. I'm so saddened by it because I supported the EC all the time. When the NPP was bashing them, I was supporting them. And now look at what they've done. There was a small problem though. And it's to finish the whole form, in my anxiety to answer, I answered Mr. Amake's point. All we have to do is change. How long will it take to change that? Not even 1 minute. It could have been done. Still, they did not call us. They did not call us. Can you see? Vice Presidential and my name is not his name, we fill the form same. But because in my anxiety to finish quickly, I made a slide to say, and that can be corrected. How many minutes? How many minutes? They did not call us. Meanwhile, they say he did not have his particulars. What is that not his particulars here? Is that not his details there? Please look at it. We have to be very, very careful. The EC has got to be very, very careful because we want the credible elections. And don't give people the chance to use that to go to court again. I know that now they've seen that mistakes, they're going to correct it. I have a very capable lawyer. If they don't do it, we'll take them to court and they'll be embarrassed. They'll be so embarrassed they won't know what to do with themselves. I'm ashamed and I'm saddened, but life, sometimes we all make mistakes. And once you make a mistake, you correct it.
And that's Dr. Henry Latte of the GCPP. Well, another person who's been speaking today is Kofi Apollo. He's been given reasons based on which the EC disqualified his candidature. He says the EC's position is incorrect.
EC have disqualified me to contest the 2016 elections on flimsy excuse. The excuses that they provided are stated here. They are saying that 3 subscribers have also gone to subscribe another candidate. So as a party, because we have our database, we know where they live, we have their contact addresses and what have you. We had to quickly call our people and find out from them whether they have signed for another candidate apart from us, and true and behold, they are saying no, they haven't. So this morning we decided to call you, the media, so that you'll be here, so that you see it yourself, and then you can take the matter to the whole world for them to know that the EC is not being fair to me and also to IPP. So on the list we have Alfred Yovoglo. I want you, if he is here, I want him to come and show us his voter's ID card so that the media you can compare. Mr. Alfred Yovoglo, please.
Alfred.
Yeah. Come with your on this flimsy excuse. And the whole world, he has gone ahead without even inviting me or EC. We provided the EC not only their voters ID, we gave the EC their current address. So if EC wanted to know the truth, what EC should have done is to call them and find out from them, did you sign for Mr. Apollo? Are you okay? Or any other person? EC did not do that. And EC went ahead to disqualify me on the grounds that these people have gone to sign for another candidate. But I want you to ask them whether they have signed for me and any other candidate. I want you to ask them.
The point is that EC cannot...
No, please, we don't want to go to that. I want...
No, so the police...
And that's the IPP's Kofi Apollo. And let's still stay with issues of concern to elections, because there are some 24 parliamentary aspirants in the Ashanti region who could not complete their nomination process, and as a result will not be going on to the next stage to contest the elections. On Monday, the National Office of the Electoral Commission disqualified 12 presidential aspirants. That's the situation being contested as of now. But information coming through suggests that those who've been caught up in this latest situation in the Ashanti region did not complete their nomination process. Let's go on the phone lines and speak to Inshira FM's Ohiming Teria, who joins us with more details. So, Ohime, what can you tell us about these 24 people who we are told will not be contesting as parliamentary aspirants in December?
Yes, Jifa, these are 24 parliamentary aspirants, according to the Electoral Commission office in the Ashanti region. Did not complete their nomination process. So they submitted their forms, but they didn't add the filing fee after September 30th. So Mr. Srebo Kweku, the regional director of the Electoral Commission, says out of the 24, the major political parties are not a part of this 24. He mentioned the MPP, NDC, CPP, PPP, and PNC as having completed the nomination form. So your guess could be as mine. The rest are from the other political parties and some independent parliamentary candidates in the region. But Mr. Srebokweku will not say that these people have been disqualified. He says that they did not complete the nomination process. So they sent the nomination forms to Accra and also added their comments asking the Electoral Commission or telling the Electoral Commission, the national office, of what they will do to these aspirants. But for him, the region and the district levels have no mandate or power to disqualify these aspirants, Jifa.
So, in as much as Mr. Kweku says that they did not complete the process, what should they have done to get through that they didn't do?
Yes, for him, he says they were left with the payment of the filing fees. So he says, for instance, with the political parties, MPP, NDC, CPP, PPP, and then PNC, the party headquarters paid the filing fees on behalf of these aspirants. So same could not be said of these aspirants who failed to show up at the EC's office when they closed the process. So that is why they say that because they couldn't pay the filing fee, probably that might not qualify them to be on the ballot paper, Jifa.
And has there been any reaction from these aspirants? Have they been informed or have they come to the office of the EC in the Ashanti region?
Not at all. According to Mr. Kweku, even after they filed the forms, they were given some time because they had to go through the court process where some aspirants were challenging the filing fee. So they had some little window, a hope of window for them to have paid the filing fee. But after that, they didn't show up. So they waited till today that they sent the forms to the national headquarters. But this announcement was made at the National Commission's media training for journalists in Kumasi. So few minutes ago, that is where the pronouncement was made. So Mr. Srebokweku was even surprised to hear that journalists could say that these people have been disqualified. And as he put it, it's not true, and it dismisses the disqualification information.
Thank you very much, Ohiming Etewia, who is with Inshra FM. But we can now hear directly from the Ashanti Region's Eastern Regional Director, Mr. Srebokweku.
We all know that we concluded the nomination process as far as the submission of the nomination forms on the 30th of September. But because of the problem with the deposit payment, we took the forms, received them, but we did not process them because we were waiting for the deposit to be paid. Then the commission said, after the court judgment, that they will not grant the injunction on the deposit, that they were given Monday to process the form. Then the commission sent out a list of political parties and their parliamentary candidates that they have paid. So we used that list to process. Then some few of the political parties did not pay through Accra. Then some of the independent candidates too did not continue the process. So as I speak, 24 of the candidates have not submitted their deposit. And because the districts and the region do not have the power to disqualify anybody, we have made our comments on the forms and sent them to Accra for Accra to know what is happening. So we cannot disqualify anybody at the district or the regional level. Once you have not paid the deposit, you cannot call yourself as a candidate. But everything will be determined by the commission at the head office. We have submitted the forms, made our comments on them. For now, I can't make any categorical statement because I don't have the power to say that. But I've sent them to Accra.
Ashanti Region EC Director Srebokweku. Now, the Ghana Police Service says the failure to withdraw the security detail of presidential aspirants who've been disqualified by the Electoral Commission will pose some danger to the service. The police withdrew the bodyguards of 12 presidential aspirants following the EC's announcement that they've been disqualified on grounds of oversubscription, false signatures and errors on their nomination forms. Director of Operations and Coordinator of the Election Security Task Force, Chief Superintendent Dr. Benjamin Agojo, spoke earlier on Joy News Desk.
We will give or restore this protection as soon as there is a reverse, either by court or by the EC. And I have already spoken to this issue, and I discussed that the essence of providing them with these bodyguards is to facilitate their political activities and to protect them during their political rallies and activities and other things. And so once we are not concerned about that. All we are concerned about is that they have been disqualified. And once they have been disqualified by the EC, then we will have no basis. The point is that in what capacity are we going to be providing security? But of course, like any other Ghanaian and like any other public event, if the PPP decides to go ahead with holding rallies and other things, they can still go by the Public Order Act. And the Public Order Act has provision for every kind of event. And so there's no problem at all if they want to go ahead. For instance, if they decide to go to Tamale right now, they can still see the regional commander because they are holding an event, and the regional commander will provide them with the needed police security. But we will not provide him or the vice presidential candidate with a bodyguard. Our issue is with bodyguard. Our issue is not about security. As for security, everybody enjoys security. And once you hold an event, the police are obliged to assist you. So there's no problem with their campaign, and we have no problem if they continue to hold campaigns. We have even other civil society organizations and other people who hold events, and we are still obliged to support and provide security. So there's nothing wrong with that if we have to continue.
Dr. Benjamin Agozo is the Director of Operations at the Ghana Police Service and in charge of the National Election Task Force Committee. But let's go on the campaign trail now, because Nana Akufo-Addo is still campaigning here in Accra. My colleague Latif Idris joins us on the phone line. So Latif, where has Mr. Akufo-Addo been all day, and what's going on?
Just as we speak, Nanando is at the Pentecost University in the Anyang constituency. Before getting here, Nanado has been addressing some mini rallies on its way right at Tabora Junction, then to Al-Hadi Station. Now, one key issue Nanado has made today has to do with, the promises the party has been making. He says these promises are not being made just to win votes for the 2016 elections, and they are promises that have been thought through by experts within the New Patriotic Party. Talk about the issue of one district, one factory. He says they have the men to deliver that intervention to the people. So pretty shortly, the presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party is expected to address the student body here at the Pentecost University. Now, we have the Alan Chairman-Taylor is also joining the campaign trail, and I'm sure he'll also come up with some message to the students who are cheering him up even before he mounts the platform to deliver his message for them.
What's the response of the students?
Yeah, the response has been massive, Jifa. We have people following the flag bearer right from Tabora Junction to the university campus right now, cheering him up wherever he's gone, saying this time they are changing, the economy is not doing well, reason why they are giving their vote to the flag bearer. In company, I must also mention, is Amoako, who is running for the parliamentary seat in the Anyang constituency. So response of the electorate in this very constituency, I must say, has been massive for the New Patriotic Party. If you come to the university campus now, I'm sure you can hear the cheers in the background. These are students and people who follow the flag bearer all the way from La Paz, Tabora, Al-Hadi to the university campus. And Nanado is getting ready to address them as we speak.
Thank you very much, Latif Idris. They're coming to us from the Pentecost University. We'll be bringing you more on the Nanado campaign later on in our subsequent bulletins. But let's go to the Eastern region, where the MPP there is on a collision course with the police. They're accusing the police of selective justice and not acting on cases of assault involving their members. At a media interaction today, the Eastern region chairman of the party, Kingston Kisi, said the police are not prosecuting known political functionaries who've been involved in electoral violations.
Chief Crime Officer, DSP, by their inaction, appear to be carrying out the orders of the NDC. Sometimes the crime officer comes across as the solicitor for the NDC, raising defense for their actions. These notorious NDC towns have been identified as having been driven in the NDC branch quite Mahindra pickup with registration number VR 4018/16. Their leaders driver Sami Banchi, who is alleged to be an Nduom payroll and one petite. Others are Mustafati, Baba Musa and Malam, among others.
And that's the Eastern Region NPP Chairman, Mr. Kisi. Let's speak to our reporter on the ground, Maxwell Owusu. Maxwell, good afternoon. So, have the NPP talked about what they intend to do next, since they're unhappy about the police's action so far?
Well, the regional chairman and the entire regional executive indicated in the press conference. In fact, they enumerated over 7 instances where their members were abused by the police did not act. They say that they have come to the realization that the police service in Suhum and for that matter in the Eastern region cannot protect their members. So they will also employ any means within the confines of the law to ensure that their members and loved ones are not abused. They believe that the police commander in Suhum and the crime officer have exhibited beyond reasonable doubt that they cannot maintain peace and tranquility in the Suhum constituency. They have therefore called on the IGP to institute a probe into all the instances of the violence that have been perpetrated against their members in the Suhum municipality and act accordingly.
So, Maxwell, the police, I know this is not the first time the NPP has been accusing them. Have they given any response at all to all these issues?
The police personally have not responded to the claim made by the NPP. We've made several attempts to get in touch with the Suhum District Police Commander, DSP Yaya Bushirali, but all the attempts hit on the rock. We have not received any response from them. They however believe that these attacks on their members is as a result of comments or statements that were made by NDC chairman in the Eastern region that suggests that this year's election is a do or die affair. They said immediately or shortly after the original chairman made that comment to whom the part of the NPP, the NDC started various attacks on members of the NDC. So they believe that if the security did not call the NDC members to order, they will also be attempted to retaliate.
Okay, thank you very much, Maxwell Owusu there, bringing us up to date on that NPP media briefing in the Eastern region. And that's how we end the program today. Thank you very much for joining us here on Election Brief. Hope you enjoyed it, but if you missed the live broadcast, you can catch the show on YouTube. Thanks for watching. I'm Jifa Bampo.